What is up, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with a new deck profile. Again, this is going to be another one from the Clash of Rebellions format, and this is going to be a deck that has been plaguing my existence on the OCG side of Dueling Network for the past few weeks. I've done the occasional bit of OCG testing, and this is something that I've always had the misfortune of coming up against, and this is going to be, as the title will suggest, Chicken Race Exodia. Now, my list of it is by no means the best list. This is just something that I've tried to formulate myself because there are so many different variations of this. I've just been looking through, I've looked online for a variety of lists on this one, but the majority of there were quite a few that played the bamboo, the bamboo engine with the golden bamboo sword and the cursed bamboo sword, I believe it was. I don't have those cards, so I figured I'd at least try and bring you guys a version without those cards. And if I do kind of get a hold of them, I'll bring you guys another one. But this is the first time I've ever built or profiled a real quote-unquote cancerous deck, a solitaire deck. Realistically, I mean, people will call the Ignite deck from before pretty solitaire, but this deck is solitaire in and of itself. And the main reason I even own it is so that I can use it kind of between rounds and things like that, just as solitaire when I'm bored at events. So that's why this has been built. It's all been built from mostly spare cards. So, and the rest of the stuff that isn't spare, I'm going to be getting duplicates of, so I can just have this built. So for the moment, this is the deck, and we're just going to take it away. I've got a main and extra, so we'll start off with the main deck. So for the main deck, we of course have the 5 pieces of Exodia. This is Exodia Chicken Race without putting the legs the wrong way around. This is Exodia Chicken Race. That's all there really is to it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's not the most consistent deck on the planet. Like, don't be fooled and think that this deck is like apocalyptically consistent. It's really not. But of course, this is our win condition. The 5 pieces of Exodia, and then it's complemented by a fair few monsters and then a hell of a lot of spells. So the key monster we want to be opening turn 1, similar to my Ignite list actually, is the Royal Magical Library. Royal Magical Library is what allows our hand to go from essentially even cards to go plus. There are a couple more cards in this deck that allow us to go plus to make our hands larger for cards like Card Destruction, but otherwise this is the card that's going to do all of our plussing. I'm actually just going to wipe the lens for a sec. I don't know why that was going on there. I think there was some mess on there. Then the other monsters I'm playing are 2 copies of Whitestone of Legend and 2 copies of Blue Eyes. They're similar to the plus engine theory that I mentioned just a moment ago, wherein we want to have a way to just make our hand larger than it currently is. So whenever we, of course, trade off this, we are going to be able to go plus by searching the Blue Eyes and things like that. So double Whitestone, double Blue Eyes, there to make our hand larger than it currently is. Now onto the spells. We're playing a few one-offs and then a series of multiples. So for the one-offs, we're playing the one Day of Peace. It's essentially is all draw power. So 1 Day of Peace, Cards of Consonance for the Whitestone, Trade-In for the Blue Eyes, 1 Pot of Duality. It's important that you only want to play one of these, simply because you're playing an FTK deck that wants to win in 1 turn. So of course multiple dualities are going to be dead. So you want to play just 1 duality because you can only activate 1. You only want to see 1. And then the other 2 one-offs are 1 Terraforming, to search out our chicken races and our pseudo-space, and then the 1 copy of Toon World, which is going to be our chosen Toon Table of Contents target for the deck. So that's all the one-offs. For the multiples, we lead neatly into 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents. This is going to be our search card for that Toon World. This card is insane, alongside the Royal Magical Library. Of course, 1, 2, 3, search the Toon World, and then draw a card off of the library, so it's pretty nice. So we'll pop those up there. So 3 Toon Table. 3 copies of the infamous Chicken Game. Chicken Game or Chicken Race. Essentially reads, the player with the lowest life points takes no damage, and once per turn during the main phase, the turn player can pay the turn player can pay 1,000 life points, then activate one of these effects. They can either draw a card, draw 1 card, destroy this card, or your opponent or the opponent of the activator can gain 1,000 life points to change the attrition. Essentially, this card is just going to be here to draw cards. Like, there's no variance or no other way I can say this. This card is just in here to draw cards. Hence why we play, of course, the 3 copies of Pseudo Space to accompany it. The Pseudo Space is in here simply to be our 4th, 5th, and 6th chicken race. And these essentially are 6 more upstart goblins that we're able to play in the deck. So the draw power is absolutely phenomenal. You want to be seeing the Pseudo Space, of course, after the chicken race, which is why there are cards like Magical Mallet in the deck to put it back. But once you see the chicken race and then you see the pseudospace, it just keeps the deck moving. Pseudospace can just copy the chicken race and keep your draw power moving on. So continuing through, we've got a few more 3-ofs, I believe, in the form of 3 copies of Magical Mallet. Use this to cycle your hand back into the deck. There will be situations early in the game where you start seeing multiple Exodia pieces and your hand begins to brick where you really don't want it to. The Mallet is useful for that. It's also useful in situations where you start to accumulate multiple cards like the Blue Eyes and things like that you've plussed off of, or the Toon World, and you really want to put them back into the deck. It's also cool to have the Mallet for the Toon World if you draw the Toon World before you draw the Toon Table, because then you can of course Mallet it back into the deck as well. So this card actually is an incredibly strong card. I'm almost considering putting it in like a reload as well, but for the moment the 3 Mallet are fantastic. And then playing the 3 Upstart Goblin, just the free 37 card deck, and then 3 copies of Into the Void because you need to keep moving through it. The only sad part about the deck is because you play Into the Void, you do essentially lose if you don't win that turn. That's why this is an FTK deck, because of course any Exodia pieces you have left in your hand are going to get immediately sent to the grave by the Into the Void, because you can set your hand but you can't set the Exodia pieces, so that's kind of sad. And then the only other spells I play are 2 copies of Hand Destruction. This is one of the draw cards that makes us go minus, but it's quite useful with things like Blue Eyes or the White Stone or dead cards in hand like the Toon World or the extra libraries. So double Hand Destruction, and then I'm testing double Magical Stone Excavation. I'm considering cutting one of these for a different card. But Magical Stone Excavation is in here for a similar reason to Hand Destruction. It just says add whichever spell from the graveyard we should require at the time back to our hand. So the stone is in here just in case we should need it. So that rounds off the complete main deck. For the extra deck, we are playing literally like just a Trollsy extra deck. We're playing 1 Blood Mephist, 1 Dig Porzak, King of Heavy Industry, 1 number 106 Giant Hand, 1 Ascension Sky Dragon, 1 Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, because we want to be like banishing cards out of our opponent's hand turn 1. We play the Formula Synchron for draw power, the Shooting Quasar Dragon, because I heard there's like a Quasar Exodia deck going around. I'm not really sure how you summon this, but figured I'd put it in, get up on the hype. 1 Utopia Ray Victory, clear is in the name. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, if we, because if we want to change our win condition and start doing burn damage instead, this is in here. We're playing the 1 number 7 Lucky Straight because we want to keep lucky with this deck. We want to, be getting some lucky hits, so that's in there. Then, just in case we come up against Cyber Dragons, we're playing the Chimeritic Fortress Dragon. 1-0, literally just because I think I'll never put this in any other deck. 1 Gladiator Beast Heraclinos for negation. You've gotta have that negation power in here somewhere. In a similar vein, we're also playing the Naturia Exterio for that reason as well. And then we're playing the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon for, nostalgia, and, Cyberstein's got to come off the list eventually, so that's why that's in here. But yeah, guys, that brings me to about the end of this this old Exodia deck profile. Ultimately, there is no extra deck for this. You don't need it. There should really be no need for one. So that's all I am playing for this list. As per usual, I hope you've all enjoyed. Please let me know if you have done so. And let me know what you want to see featured on the channel later on. Fair warning, just do not say Red Eyes, because I'm not getting that stuff in until it drops in price, because it's far too overhyped and I don't feel that the deck is that good. So if you guys want to see it, I can do like a Dev Pro or Dueling Network video of it, but no one ever watches my DN videos anyway, hence why the book series has kind of died out. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this absolutely horrendous deck profile. I'll hopefully bring you test hands shortly after this. But for the moment, this is JamieTheKid00. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more of these, hopefully more constructive decks. Share this with your friends if they've been interested in FTK decks, if they fancy just playing Solitaire and not Yu-Gi-Oh! And otherwise, comment down below if there's anything you wanted to say. Otherwise, this has been JamieTheKid00. Peace out. Bye-bye.